My Hero episode 37. Super interesting because even though it's called Origin, it's technical, well, these Katsuki Bakugo Origin, a lot of this kind of just basically justifies his reason, or at least how plenty of people up on the internet who basically dissect this damn series, how they sort of look at his character, whereas that, just like every other kid out there in the world, he idolized All Might, because again, because unlike Midoriya, who idolized All Might because he just saves people and he does it with a smile and shit, Bakugo does it because All Might is technically the symbol of peace. And again, the symbol of peace is not supposed to lose. So that's why he that's kind of why he has his little, like, I'm better than everybody type of persona, along with him actually learning his powers, him actually using his powers in creative ways, and him actually trying his hardest to build his costume in such a way to where that it actually makes him better, or that basically like that, he knows his quirk about 90%. Like, he knows everything, like how to use it, what its drawbacks are, like what you are supposed to do and what you aren't supposed to do. And that's a very interesting thing that's actually kind of played out in his character, like when it boils down, like in this little breakdown of his history, because it's like, well, yeah, like All Might's fighting 5 people, like he's the hero, like he's supposed to win, even though they have way more numbers. And they even show that to where like that when he was a kid, and he was also fighting like two kids. I think he was a first grader. Those kids were 4th graders, and he beat them in a fight, because he has explosions as his quirk, so, which does feed into like this whole I'm better than you mentality. Now, where does this break down in this episode? Which that the real thing is that he needs to get over that hate he has for Midoriya and actually try to actually achieve a goal. However, as this sort of plays out, it's like he has it in his mind that he does not want to rely on other people, because again, in his mind, he sees that he is the hero. And because he thinks that he is the hero, he says, I don't need anyone's help. Like even against All Might, like whether like he detains me, holds me back, whatever, he can't stop me, so I can just beat him. But that delusion is slowly kind of chipped away, especially with All Might himself kind of like just running through everything that he does, because he said himself that he forgot that All Might is the top of that fucking wall, like that he wants to get over, and you can't get there yet. Like, you can try, but you're not getting there yet. But as this episode slowly goes on, of course, we see him actually kind of like bite that bullet and also, of course, work with Midoriya. However, you can see that he has a mindset similar to Midoriya's. It's almost sort of flipped. It's sort of flipped to like before Midoriya actually kind of learned how to use full cowl, where like that he would sacrifice his own body just to use his power. Whereas Bakugo in this instance, when they do get desperate, he's like, I'm gonna win regardless. Like, but like if it's to make me win and like so that I don't lose, I will sacrifice my own body for this shit. So he ends up fucking his arms up because of that shit. And it's a lesson that, of course, Midoriya beats into him when he punches him in the fucking face and goes back to save him, because again, All Might, he does knock Bakugo out, and then Midoriya has to go and save him. Which, to be real with you, I do believe that the only reason why that they won, or at least if you have eyes, the only reason why that they won in this sense wasn't necessarily because that they showed their determination or whatever. It's the fact that All Might was winded. It's a very different thing from how Aizawa let Momo and Shoto in, where he just let them capture him. It's like, you're good enough, like you're learning, so that's the good thing. Versus All Might, who's like, well, yeah, I gotta stop them, but if I go again, like, like they might see my real form, so I can't do that shit, you know. So that's kind of how that plays out. Does Bakugo necessarily appreciate what Midoriya did for him? I don't know, but as it stands, they both passed, and hopefully they get better because of this, because I'm not reading the manga, so hopefully. And this episode, it does, well, now the extra of this episode ends with, hey man, we have 3 new people coming into the into the villain league. We finally get to meet those 3 characters, like, who were idolized, like who basically was who were inspired by the hero killer to join the villains and everything. So yeah, like, we're about to meet these guys, but until then, that is what I gotta say about that. Tell me, what do you think about this down there in the comment section. Sorry for these late ass videos. Yeah, I know. And I'm out. See you next time. Later.